Sorry, Ken, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. Tributa here for Thailand. How are you doing? Well, it's VAR ARSEnal here in Thailand. I'm in a different room today, for instance. There's a lot of work going on at the moment in my entire area, for instance, and a lot of noise going on, so I'm in this tiny little room at the moment, and so I hope you can hear me well. And for a big run today, for instance, and went for swimming and for a big run with swimming, and it was good. It was really good. The first leg of their League Cup semi-final, first leg, and there was a bit of interest because of to a lot of City fans, because not only the result and find out who's City going to play in the future, but also, for instance, there was an incident in the game, etc., which a lot of City fans are kind of like saying, because yesterday, and I knew this was going to happen yesterday. I really did. I had it in my. I'm just going to see if we can find the picture, for instance, because it appears that there we go. So I hope you can see this. It's So there we go. So. This is the Arsenal's goal, one of Arsenal's goals. Sorry, I'll go for you. Anyway, this is one of Arsenal's goals, and it appears that, for instance, see the player here? For instance, you could say that he was offside. Now, I thought, somebody could say, but he's clearly offside, clearly. If you look at what the evidence for Erling Haaland, etc., you see this evidence here. It's clear to see that, for instance, this guy's offside. But nobody, I think it was Djokovic's goal, etc., for instance, but nobody said anything about it. No media said anything about it. I was listening to Sports Bar afterwards. I woke up about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, etc., and I'm listening to Sports Bar because I find out, and nobody mentioned it there. So I listened to ESPN this morning. Nobody mentioned it there. Nobody's mentioned it, anything. Not at all. Not a word about it. But so it's clearly a double standard, you could say, because quite honestly, yesterday, I'm going to go with this. I might want to bear with me for 1 second, because quite honestly, for instance, if you ever watched my channel before, I do this channel for one reason only. It's basically to push back as a Manchester City supporter, because I'm sick and tired of the biased mainstream media talking crap about our football club. And for instance, this is my defence of our football club, because quite honestly, for instance, all I listen to is all the 115 and the blah 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 and everything of the Sudden-based mainstream two-tier media. In England, it's two-tier. It appears to be two-tier a lot. Two-tier care, two-tier policing, two-tier media. For instance, the BBC, for instance, you can't trust now. And then you've got two-tier. Now you've got two-tier sports media with pundits who are more favourable to their London-based clubs or the legacy clubs like United and Liverpool. So when I listen to this, to me, I caught this one and thought and see how this runs. So what happened was, Jamie Redknapp was talking to Micah Richards on ITV, for instance, after the game, and Micah Richards was commentating on what Pep Guardiola was saying after the game. So he was saying now the fact that, for instance, this is not more than one thing. So Jamie, and he's right to bring these things up, because Pep never says anything about, because the clear handball outside of the penalty area, for instance, of in the final, which nobody's cleared up for me. I still don't know the rule of when a penalty. Everybody thought if a goalkeeper handles the ball outside the penalty area, it's an automatic red card. Correct, right? But it appears that that's not the case. So now, because but it's not being clear. Nothing's been said about it, other than the fact that, for instance, Crystal Palace won, blah blah blah. What's it called? And the media's moved on and whatever. So we'll wait until it happens again to a goalkeeper, because it appears that there's supposed to be a red card as soon as the goalkeeper handles the ball outside the penalty area. Well, that's not true. But Pep Guardiola knows that he can't say anything. He's been muffled, and because he knows if he comes out and says something, the media is going to push back on him and claim that, for instance, oh well, he's crying and blah blah blah, and exactly what happened yesterday. So when Jamie Redknapp happened to come up with a comment, listen to Michael Richards. So does Manchester City feel they are victims here? Or which Michael Richards pushed back and said, no, it's not what he was saying. He said, and it's clearly that's not what Pep Guardiola was saying about these incidents. It appears that, for instance, that there are incidents, but Man City cannot, and Pep Guardiola can't say anything about to the referee without the mainstream Southern-based biased media pushing back at Man City, saying, oh, Man City walking around like a victim club, more Manchester City, blah blah blah. Even Liverpool, for instance, if the Van Dijk situation where Van Dijk against Man City was the goal, no goal, it was Liverpool blew it well out of proportion, you could say. They took it, whatever. Yeah, Danny Murphy talking about it. You had, what's it called? Every Liverpool, all talk about this Van Dijk goal. Should have been a goal. Blah blah blah. Should have been a goal. And for instance, and they wanted transcripts of what was said in the VAR rooms, which they got, I believe, and everything. So, but nobody was saying, "Oh, shut up, Liverpool." Oh, stop being playing the victim card. Nobody went to go. He was like, "Oh, right, like that." But when Manchester City said something like Pep Guardiola, we're the victims. So, what's it called? But Pep Guardiola just don't want to feel that way because people say like, oh, well, it's double standard. It's for instance, it happens to everybody, right? It's not just Man City; it happens to everybody. But when Pep Guardiola was saying it, because he didn't want to come out and say it, he wanted to, he wanted to express his opinion and say, why does this happen? Why does this happen? Because again, it's twice now it's happened to Newcastle. There was the goal. It was the Harvey Barnes goal. Was it Harvey Barnes in the previous game against Newcastle, where it was a 2-1 lost to Man City, etc. The ball, and then Ruben Dias. It was clearly you saw the lines of the graphs, and it clearly shows that the Newcastle guy was well offside. But when you saw the line, what they draw, it appears that the guy was behind Ruben Dias. Or and it showed Ruben Dias floating in the air or jumping, and people looking, going, well, that's not the case. That is not. That's not. Because and again, for instance, their interpretation of what actually happened, the VAR interpretation, what happened, was not true. So now you're looking at and again, so now it's happened again. This with these pixelated pictures, for instance, on Then appears that the automatic translation. Sorry, the automatic thing. What they got now, this new thing they got in, is not working. Why wasn't it working? What's the story of working? Why was it not working? So then they had to go back to the old system. That's the reason why it took it 6 minutes. I heard people saying, "Oh, it's 4 minutes." It was 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Listen to Talk Sport yesterday. They were saying 4 minutes and 5 minutes, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. For instance, and again, I would listen to Newcastle fans also come out on other podcasts, on Terry Farrell's podcast and other podcasts, and say, just give the goal. And again, for instance, because people just say, just give the goal. And he's a Newcastle fan. So, but when Pep Guardiola has come out and expressed his opinion, plus also in the same game against Newcastle, where Phil Foden got his foot trapped in, there was no repercussions, no yellow cards, no nothing, whatever. So, and where the guy stamped on Phil Foden's ankle, but nothing. But if Pep Guardiola mentions it, then, for instance, he's only feel blah blah blah. Pep Guardiola's moaning blah blah blah. Again, it's two-tier all the time. Then, also in the same game where Doku hit the ball, and the guy clearly handballs it, and you clearly see handball by the Newcastle player. He hit the handball. For instance, but it appears that, for instance, for instance, that got all completely overlooked. Then we play against Notts Forest, and should Ruben Dias, and then the Notts Forest manager moans about Ruben Dias should have been sent off. Oh, it should have been a second yellow card, it should have been sent off, Nobody's moaning about him. He brings it up and he moans about it for days and days and days and days. But on Talk Sport, on Sky Sports and blah blah blah, oh, I think he's got a point. Oh yeah, I think he's got a point. Whatever. Nobody's saying he played the victim card. Nobody's saying this is the double standard. When Liverpool moan about it, Notts Forest moan about something, and Arsenal moan about things, etc. When Arteta moans about things, they're not picking on Arteta and Klopp or Van Dijk, not Forest manager, and saying, oh well, why are you playing the victim card? Why blah blah blah, moaning. But if Pep Guardiola says something, it's no. To which, and that showed you. And when I was talking about the Jamie Redknapp thing, so because again, when he brought up that, you're playing the victim card and blah 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 to Macca Richards, and Macca Richards pushed back and said, no, I'm not. That got spiralled over to talk crap. Talk Sport Sports Bar, where they brought it up. And this time it's like a snowball going down a hill. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So of course, for instance, it's so of course they brought it up. Oh, does Man City feel like they're blah blah blah? And then next morning, you're looking at Sky Sports News, okay, or whatever, they're doing the review of the back pages and blah blah blah. They brought it up, right? But Manchester City said, Pep Guardiola never said that. Macca Richards never said that. The only person who said it was Jamie Redknapp. Jamie Redknapp said it, but it was brought over, to Sky, to Talk Sport, whatever. They started talking about it. And then, for instance, because I'm on the opposite side of the world and was going way behind, I listen to the night programmes, and during the night programmes at the news, they're bringing it up. Oh, Manchester City feel blah 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 blah, and it goes all the way around to I didn't listen to Shaban, who does the woman who does the morning breakfast on Talksport, to see if they're going to bring it up. And then, for instance, then the guys, for instance, who were talking about it, the lateness for the morning show. But it was not until Jim White started, and then with Danny Murphy, who clearly has a bad attitude towards Manchester City, and then Simon Jordan, who clearly has Mr. Superior, blah blah blah. He has an attitude to he can't be balanced sometimes, but we all know, for instance, he's quite easy, happy to call out Manchester City. But Jim White was the one who's actually posting this moaning about this more often, saying, "Oh, they got it right. They got it. Why is Pep Guardiola moaning about it? About this situation, like that, and and shouldn't have. And then there was a discussion: should it have VAR? Shouldn't have VAR? I think VAR is good. I think it helps, but VAR was brought in to assist the referee, not to re-ref the games. And this is the problem. The referee called it a goal. The VAR then checks the goal and spent 6.5 minutes trying to figure out whether it's a goal or not. And when you go in with it, picks out pictures and things like that, and it's so subjective to this person, and it occurs that so subjective. For instance, you really kind of like, is that true? Is that not true? Because we used to looking at people in the VAR, and they were doing this because they don't know. If it's so subjective, then you just got to give the goal. Now you're saying, oh well, you're a Man City fan, and blah blah blah. Oh well, it's because of that. No, listen. If that was Newcastle, you got to give the goal. Okay, I'd be quite happy with that, honestly, for instance, because quite honestly, we're talking about honesty. We're talking about integrity towards the game, right? And for instance, and one of the reasons why I do this is because I have to push back against the mainstream Southern-based biased media against Manchester City. Because I can't understand how Sean Dyche can come out and about Ruben Dias, and he can go on for days about Ruben Dias should have been sent off against Man City, against Notts Forest, la 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 la. But Liverpool can have transcripts of the Van Dijk goal, no goal, what's it called, against Manchester City. No, it seems to be about when they play City, what's it called, blah 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 blah. And the mainstream media is quite happy to go along with it. Nobody's moaning about it. Nobody's going, oh yeah, just shut up about it. Oh, shut up, Van Dijk, John Dyche, shut up about it, Klopp, shut up. Nobody's saying that. Everybody's kind of like, yeah, well, maybe he's got a point, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens is, people on YouTube, the rival fans on YouTube, they pick up on it. So it just gets, it starts off with Jamie Redknapp just happened to bring in his own opinion, a bad opinion on what Macca Richards was saying about what Pep Guardiola was saying, and then from that it's gone on to it's gone worse and worse and worse, and then suddenly, for instance, when we City fans were going, oh God's sake, and then you looking at Chelsea the next night, Chelsea play against Arsenal in the semi-final of the Carling Cup or whatever you call it, Cup, and then for instance, and then we have an incident very similar to what happened the day before, but no, nobody's mentioned it. Shh. Why? Because it's Arsenal? Again, it's this, you can call me, whatever, but I don't, it feels too tier. It feels too tier. It doesn't feel right. It feels too tier. And again, for instance, this is what drives me crazy. And it's not. It just feels. Come on. And my Jim Wright was actually going on yesterday. My God, he didn't half lay into Manchester City, and it just drives me crazy. It really does. It's so. I just can't stand it. I really can't. And. For instance, like Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy's never going to be subjected towards Manchester City. Can Jim White, can United beat Manchester City? Well, of course they can. Of course they can. Of course he's going to say that. Of course he's going to say that. And it really just drives me crazy. It really does. Right, should we move on? Okay, so, but I'm sure they'll bring it up. I'm sure nobody will say anything about the Arsenal thing, but I'm sure the Man City thing will be brought up again. Anyway, so let's just move on to see what else happened to Man City 24. Okay, so Marmoush, Egypt has now been knocked out of the the AFCON, but they've got a third place playoff, which they'll probably do on Saturday. So they were edged out by Senegal, and Marmoush will be probably back next week when we need him, because Erling's a bit tired by the looks of it, which is understandable. He's played a lot of games, even Pep was mentioning that. So hopefully Marmoush doesn't get injured and he can help us. Because we've got Bodo Glimt next week. We've got to northern Norway about that after the game against the Rex. Ladies, welcome to a USA international. Coffery was signed for Manchester City yesterday, which is a midfielder, Sam Coffery. Really looking forward to seeing her. She's playing number 17 at City, and I don't know whether she be signed. I think she should be able to start or play some part, or who knows, against Bournemouth. We got Bournemouth at Saturday with the Man City ladies in the cup. Apart from that, Masaka and Azedu fired EDS into an impressive win over Leipzig. There was a 3-1 victory over Leipzig. So this is our EDS. So Masuka and Makedo, for instance, who plays so well for us against Exeter, on the bench against Newcastle in Caen, also played, for instance, played against beat Leipzig 3-1. Sorry about cut all over the place today. Let's just see what also has happened in the last 24. There is a still whether we're going to get him, not get him, but City fans are now getting a bit kind of like saying, about Mark Gahey, whether we want him or not want him. I hear Big Steve, I was listening to LB, I was listening to you, I was listening to other City contact curators, and there's a bit so like saying, if he doesn't want to come, then don't bring him. So because I think he's getting to a point whether. There was Sampley put out a report last week that said Man City haven't got the money, which is crazy. I'm not buying that one. And then there was talked about, for instance, about how much because he's not going to get a signing on fee if he comes to Man City, so maybe we have to pay more money. So because to me, I'm expecting about at least 40 million quid. What's going to be because he's part of paying Chelsea plus is also his extra money, for signing on fee, etc. But again, City not going to put an official bid until I think they had talks with the players' representatives in Manchester. Whether it's up to Mark, whether he wants to come or not, but I think a lot of City fans are so happy with Kuzinov and Gate and Max and Aki at the moment, and saying that, for instance, why? And because Ruben Diaz will be back in a few weeks. Me personally, I think that we need him because we needed a central defender again, just because in case somebody gets injured, and also we need a professional, a first class central defender. And if we can get Mark Gahey in, that'd be great. So I think we definitely should pursue him for the strength of the squad more than anything else. Because again, I've seen many a time these past weeks where I've looked at the bench and it's been just about our EDS players on because they're all players on injured or in AFCON. So, but now I'm getting confident about our EDS players coming on. So I think a lot of City fans are going, the EDS are playing well. Max and Thingy's playing well. Cousinhoff is playing well. So why do we need Gahey? And if he doesn't want to come, he doesn't want to come. If he's in two minds, it could be about money. It could be about something else. Could be the fact he might want to come, but he's trying to sort out the money with Palace. Manchester not. I don't think they're going to put in a bid in for him until they actually know that, for instance, he's interested in coming. But we'll see. Right. So yeah, Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-2. I think they were 2-1 up. So go 3-1 up, etc., or 3-0 up, etc. When he came back to 3-2. Right. Let's have a quick look. Coffery's doing that thing. Oh, gee whiz, ridiculous, honestly. We have the referee for the weekend against the Rags. Which I'm looking forward to the game. Really, I'm quite chilled out about the game, to tell the truth, more than anything else. Whether about playing against New Leaf. I'm not going to call them by their name, etc. I think it's an insult to Manchester, and it's an insult. I just call them New Leaf because again, there's only one team in Manchester, and that's Manchester City. And born and bred in the UK, born in Mancunian. Was called being Irish parents, but I lived overseas a long time. So, so I'm a little bit. I got a bit of a. It's not the fact I'm bitter against United, not about anything else. I just find the fan base. I thought they've been really, the banner which ticked over every time. They were doing so well, winning the treble. Man City were in Division 2, but they still had this banner which insulted Man City. I don't think I could. That to me, that is low. That is low, and I think that to me, that is low. That comes across as low. So Marmoush Nigeria will place Nigeria in the third place playoff. Let's have a look. Right. Oh yeah, Anthony Taylor. That was it. Anthony Taylor was the latest news. That who's going to be the referee for the for the Rags, which is could you make it up? Anthony Taylor. But that's about it really. Stefan Ortega, looks like he could be going to Girona, which I think is excellent. I'm really happy. I'm hoping. I don't like to see Calvin Phillips or Stefan Ortega, good players, Stefan Ortega especially, not being given a club, and I hope he works out for Stefan. Great player, a great goal, good servant for Man City. So Sam Coffey, right? She's signed from Portland. Thomas. On a 3.5-year contract, so welcome to Manchester City. Right, so I'm going to leave you. I do apologise, for instance, it's a bit hurried this morning, this afternoon, because of where I am, etc. So I do hope not too disappointed. I say, if you don't know me, I'm truly retired. I do this every single day for about 20 minutes. I talk about the men and ladies, just supporting our club really against the mainstream Southern-based biased media. And yes, I truly retired from Thailand.